I'm Rebecca Davis. We are scary and interesting. And today we're going to be talking about ghost stories for the holidays, but for 2024. Since I did last year, I thought it'd be good to keep it up as a tradition for this channel. Okay, a ghost story involving ghosts and ghostly circumstances, intending to be supernatural, and scary. We are going to hear about 10 ghost stories from around the world on this channel. So let's get into it. Okay, get into it. First, Tunisian Ghost Story from Tunisia. This guy was out for a night walk in downtown Tunisia, and as he passed by one of the boulevard park's gates, he saw this good-looking girl all alone and feeling cold. So he walks up to her and gives her his jacket and starts talking to her and all. They ended up spending the night together. Then he took her home to his parents' place. The following morning, he remembers he never got his jacket back from her. So he passes by her parents' place to get it. Her mom tells him that it's impossible because her daughter had been dead for years. So he asks where she was buried. So she goes to her grave, and there, laying on the girl's grave, was her jacket. Scary, isn't it? Scary for the guy he was with. Deceased woman. Move on to the second ghost story. This one is called Jinn Grave in Ghat from Libya. The Libyan desert has a lot to offer, embraces countless and inspiring sights that are to impress anyone and everyone. From the golden sand dunes to the fantastic natural lakes. But there are other places that impress in such a different way. The Jinn cave or as called by the Rig, the cave of Indian, The mountain is located by the desert city of Ghat, southwest of Libya. The contents of an amazing rock formation that makes it closer to fiction than to anything in reality. The cave carved in the mountain is reportedly one of the most haunted places in the world. The residents of the area rumor that this mountain is not like any other place. For the visitors, they say, never returns. The cave is creepy from tells several stories in which the truth is mixed with imagination, and where the world of Jinn is always present. Some have reported seeing a deer in the cave at night. This deer cannot be caught, where it is believed to be a Jinn in the form of an animal. Others told of hearing mysterious voices coming out from the cave. Among the cultural heritage of Riga that is still maintained is wearing a sword or knife, and practicable on special occasions such as marriage ceremonies. Although the sword is not to fight the Jinn, the Tuareg believe that the Jinn fear iron, which makes them feel immune to evil spirits. Several have tried to climb the cave and get into its secrets, but the mountain terrain limited the attempts, making it more mysterious than before. Jinn stories might take the breath of some and leave them with a chill. But for the people of the desert community, the Jinn stories are no concern in talking about the unusual and unfamiliar. Is part of their heritage legacy. However, the quiet surrounding and awesome views that the desert offers might actually make you want to never be seen again. Scary, isn't it? That's one mountain you don't want to go into. It's caves. Now we're going to move on to the third holiday ghost story. It's called A Ghost Story of Ancient Egypt. From Egypt. Scholars differ in interpreting the text. Some claim it is a person narrating by a speaker who spends the night in the, hopefully I get this right, Acropolis at Thebes, and encounters an angry spirit. This nameless narrator then goes to the high priest to seek his help, and Norris see him raises the spirit to talk to it. The first person narrator interpretation rests internally on one of the early lines. Other scholars claim it is a third person narrating, which tells how Con is encountered the spirit in the Acropolis. Then dictated himself to help it find peace. The beginning of the story is a fragmentary as the constellation which breaks off. As it is unstoppable, hell once concludes the T mentioning that the start increases first person narration. The story makes more sense as third person opposition narration. However, as no person narration makes appearance after the opening lines, and these could and in fact and be dialogue speaking by Crohn's the some translations in fact omit the I in the opening lines, internally attributing them to corns in without any effect on the story Crohn's. Either way, after two lines which relates some sort of journey, Crohn's returns to his house and calls on the spirit to come to him and identify himself, promising to help him by building a new spectacular and providing him with all sorts of goods. It is clear that the high priest is already aware of the spirit's troubles. The ghost appears and says his name is Mika. Hopefully I got that right. Crohn's asks the spirit what is troubling him, and Neb is the Mikeka replies that he's fallen and no one now remembers where he is buried, so that prophet offerings are no longer brought. Hat is use Mikiha says he is exposed in the windy wind, hungry without food, and fears he soon may cease to existence, or as he puts it, to overflow like the unattaining, and but lost because his soul has no home to contain it. Sits down next to the spirit and weeps for him in his sad state. The state then relates who he was in life. Kron Asem Hap assures the spirit that he will do everything he can for him, saying, please express to me a first commission such as it is fit to be done for you, and I will surely have it done for you. But is not convinced. But the spirit is not convinced. Hat me Keha says, what used are the things you would do? Unless a tree is sunlight, it does not sprout foliage, meaning that does not express the priest to be able to provide him with the kind of home he once had, as Corone's hat does not have those kind of resources, such as a tree cannot blossom without sunlight, and his tomb cannot be rebuilt on promises and goodwill. The priest has assured him already that, and if he cannot build him a new tomb, he will have 5 men servants and 5 maid servants bring him food and water as offerings daily. But the spirit would not be consoled. Hap used me Keha disappears, but Samhab does not forget what he has promised. He sends men to search for the ruined tomb, and they find it. 25 cubits distance along the King's Causeway at, hopefully I get this right, Deir el-Bahari, and returned to tell their master, Colapesce, is pleased with the news and celebrations with the men, and afterwards summoning an official to tell him, about the object. The story ends with the line, "He returned in the evening to sleep in the knee, and he," but the rest of the tale is lost. The knee, in the line refers to the necropolis at Thebes. It is thought that Colapesce returns to where he was the beginning of the story to tell Nebuchadnezzar's that he will soon have a new home. Not really scary, but it's kind of neat. Yeah, story from ancient Egypt. Still, it's ghost stories. Involves ghosts. So. There you go. Another one. Okay. Let's move on. Go from Africa to the Middle East. Number 4. There's the fourth ghost story is the ancient roads of Jerusalem, Israel. Less supernatural, but equally enjoyable, is the story of Jerusalem's enchanted roads. There is a road that runs downward through the Arab neighborhood of Jabal. That's right. Kabir. Unfortunately, today it is dangerous to drive there, but during more peaceful times, you could often see people driving to a particular spot. But their cars into neutral and release the brakes. Cars into neutral and release the brakes. And then watch amazement as the car appeared to roll uphill against gravity. It is just one of the number of gravity hills in Israel. Places where the surrounding landscape creates an enjoyable optical illusion. Seems neat. There's one of those stories that you hear a lot. Yeah, there's a ghost story. In North America, we have something like that. But there's more tragedies behind that story than this this less ghostly story. Okay. Let's move on to the 5th ghost story. And this one is about a lost city. And it's called Petra in Jordan. Some say that Petra, one of the 7 wonders of the world, was full of ghosts. After the pandemic closed Jordan's borders. That was a fun time. One visitor described the feeling of walking through the city alone as sad and full of ghosts. Some creepy voices have been heard when you go into the inside chamber area. Petra exudes a strange air. There are rumors that the historic grounds are source of some paranormal activities. Some tourists claim to have sensed an incredible presence in the city's splendor gore. Some say they heard. Sorry about those pill drop off. Okay. We're talking about Petra. So, some say they heard weird whispers bantering through the empty halls, or having seen ghostly figures close to the royal tombs. Even if these reports are unconfirmed, they heighten Petra's allure and encourage conjecture about the alleged spirits forced kept within its old walls. The Treasury Building sport remains one of Petra's most pervasive mysteries, despite its name. A lot of archaeologists think it was more a temple or a royal mausoleum than a place to hide riches. Petra's complex architecture and engineering are often the subject of alien speculation. I don't believe in aliens. uh, Providence contended that the ancient human civilization could not have advanced the ancestry and intricity of Petra's rock-cut mountains. Especially the treasury, the speculate the Nabardines have received advanced technology from aliens. You not touch that. Of the cat. Okay. Distracted me. Thanks, Dash. Nabardines have received advanced technology from aliens, or assisting in building. Is that what they said about the Egyptians? The hypothesis sometime cited the difficulty of using archaic tools to carve such complex designs into solid rock as proof of extraterrestrial intervention. Really. Other theory about aliens suggested that Petra served as an alien visitor's base or landing spot. These theories prompts having occasionally sported that alien technologies, storage facilities, or extraterrestrial life could reside in Petra's numerous empty rooms and corridors. Regional folklore frequently connects Petra to the Jinn, mystical beings from Islamic and Arabic, mythological. Some people think that the old city is home to the Jinn, strong spirits with the ability to affect human affairs. There are theories that the Jinn helped build Petra, or that they were still watching over treasures buried beneath the site. Some residents and tourists have reported seeing weird occasions that they link activities like eerie lights, occasional noises, and ghostly superstitions. So is it the Jinn or is it aliens? associated with Petra. I was betting want to go for the Jinn. As I said before, don't believe in little green men. Okay, let's move on to the 6th ghost story. Okay. The 6th ghost story is the curse of al-Dar in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Hey. In Saudi Arabia. Okay. The lost city of al-Dar, we're moving on to another lost city. It is considered to be a curse due to lost city of al-Dar is considered to be a curse due to its association with the ancient city of that mud. Okay, which was destroyed by a divine punishment for people's disobeyment and idolizing as recount in the Islamic tradition. Sounds a little almost like Sodom and Gomorrah, but because Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed too. There you go. Lost City, a tale of a lost city from Saudi Arabia. Al-Dar. So they did something to piss off the divine beings. Okay. Let's move on to the 7th ghost story. Adar from Yemen. Adar is an invisible being who inhabits houses, but there is no clear description. Some believe that whoever can capture the test of the creature will be led to a treasure. Another being that inhabits houses is Ghat al-Bayt, also known as Ghat al-Shah. Brace with me, I'm trying. Shah S ha H da is a corner. Hopefully I got that right. Is the corner in the kitchen with ventilation opening to allow cooking smoke to escape. Similar to a chimney, these beings may not appear to residents of the house, but their presence is made visible. Though through strange sounds or other activity. They also inhabited houses that have been abandoned or houses whose residents have been away for a long time or only returned. Was this with a house or several with ghostly beings, invisible beings? Okay, let's move on to the 8th ghost story. And it's a little different. Instead of a play, instead of a country, we're going to a body of water. I thought to shake it up a little bit. It is say all over the world. So. Water is in the world. So. Okay. It is the crossing of the Red Sea. In the Red Sea. Some of you people that have listened to this story, you probably have heard the tale of the crossing of the Red Sea through the Christian Bible. So here, maybe for you that's never heard of this, I'll tell you. Moses guided the Israelites out of Egypt on their way to the Promised Land. Pharaoh and his army pursued them. When the Israelites reached the Red Sea, Moses stretched out his arms and the sea engulfed the army. This story is recounted in the Old Testament. Exodus 14:19-31. And there's actually a biblical movie about the whole them leaving, the Israelites leaving Egypt to the Promised Land. And it shows right there that how about when the whole scene of Moses stretching out his arms and splitting putting the sea engulfed the Egyptian army, Pharaoh's army. Okay. Other than put it in there that it's types of tales. This is a story. Okay. We're moving on to the second last story, ghost story of this episode. And it's the 9th ghost story. It is a Colapesce and the lost city of Atlantis in the from the Mediterranean. Okay. This is just mainly a breakdown of what the story is. So, according to one legend, a fisherman named Colapesce discovered that a column supporting the lost city of Atlantis had been damaged by Mount Antonia, this fire. Colapesce replaced the column to prevent Sicily from sinking. It's one of those stories. I guess it's one of those stories that may give you a suggestion of where Atlantis could lie. I did mention Atlantis when I did the Lost Continent series from last year. But I did. It was in part 2 of it, the mythological lands. Because it could be a myth or we don't know. This is the story from a couple of Greek guys, Solon and Plato. Okay. I thought it was neat. There you go. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the last one. To the 10th and last ghost story of this episode, of this video. For this year. Regina's castle in Cyprus. Okay. There was a beautiful and rich queen in Cyprus. One day, she decided to build a castle in the mountains. The building was to have 101 rooms. Wow. 100 accessible rooms, one secret room. The secret room's door was to be open once every 40 years for 24 hours only. The queen watched over the construction of the castle, and when it was finished, she executed all the builders to prevent them from revealing the secret of its construction. Legend has it that this room contained an untold treasures that still thrill adventures today. One day, a group of young men set out in search of the 101st room. They wandered for a long time through the deserted rooms of the castle, and finally came upon a mossy door. When the researchers opened the door, the room was illuminated by flashes of light and reflecting from jewels and gold coins. The boys immediately began to divide the treasures themselves, unaware that the day was coming to an end. Oh no. The sun was setting. The door to the secret room was closing again for 20 years. The members of the treasure expedition fell into dreamless sleep during this time. When they woke, they forgot what they had found and ran to their home village. Here they greatly disappointed their parents and did not wait for them and died. Their friends and wives grew old. Their children did not remember their fathers. Would that be a castle you want to venture into? I wouldn't want to if I got locked in that room. So, hopefully you found these a little bit interesting, a little bit scary, or some just plain downright horrifying. So if you did, like and subscribe and comment, and have happy rest of the day. And goodbye.